Hello, hello, what is up, what is good? We got a new chapter of One Piece. I am hella late on this one. You can watch the other video I made if you want. I got hurt myself. It sucks. And I don't know, I just kind of felt like the pain would be distracting if I tried to make videos, and just busy too, but the whole time I was acutely aware that millions and millions of people knew what happened in the latest One Piece, and that I was not one of them, which was a deeply frustrating feeling, whatever. So here we are. Let's read chapter 1163. This has the very vague and undescriptive title Promise. Promise from whom to whom? I have no idea. There's so many different characters in the mix right now. We are in the middle, I have no idea, maybe near the end or the beginning of a gigantic climactic battle between all of the forces of the previous era of piracy. Way too many to recap here, but it's basically just the who's who of that generation all squaring off in a gigantic battle royale. Where the plot goes from here, I'm not really sure. We eventually have to join back up with Harold's story and see how that leads into Loki's story, which in turn leads into the current events at Elbaf. But Oda does not seem to be in any hurry to do so. So there could be any number of other digressions, any other events that we're going to see highlighted back in this era of piracy. Yeah, story's in a crazy, crazy place right now. And here we got Luffy playing with some monkeys, some gibbons. Gibbons are very fun animals. There's a great YouTube Shorts channel that just uploads a ton of content of interacting with wild gibbons and giving them grapes. Very, very fun. Check it out. Cute one. I guess we'll do some reader requests of animal antics for a while, and then we'll get into the next cover story arc, that is. I wonder what the next one will be. Typically it's you follow up with somebody from the previous arc, but pretty much everyone from Egghead got wiped out. Or they are on the Straw Hat's ship going to Elbaf, right? I guess we could look at CP0, see what Lucci's up to, or we could jump back multiple arcs. They've done that before too, where there's, tons and tons of opportunities. I could also see them just kind of trying to cover a few other plot lines that are happening in parallel with the cover story arc. See what Edward Weevil is up to, or what Law or Kid are up to, because I don't think they're down and out for the count. They just got their asses handed to them. Okay, we go next. Just kind of trying to establish a few other parallel threads that are gonna ultimately intersect with the main plot. There's just a lot to cover, and we're in the final saga. There's only so many more arcs to do so. Okay. So, Saint Saturn does a truly monstrous transformation, already in his demonic spider form, now being possessed by Emu directly. And the Marines have no idea what's going on, including presumably Marines that are already familiar with Saint Saturn's other powers. This transformation is truly above and beyond and terrifying. We can see here Emu's power, which is always this totally black, shadowy energy, including these dark flames that are a dark version of Luffy's Gear 5 flames, creeping down the spider appendage, and presumably empowering it or enhancing it or something. It's attacking the Navy. It's on nobody's side. I think now they're in a position of nobody who sees what happens here can live. Let's kill them all, I think, is probably Emu's attitude. This is totally monstrous, totally terrifying. Everybody's withdrawing. This is right in the center of the island, it seems, right in the Valley of God Valley. It hurts, but it's so fascinating. Can't believe what it did to my crew. Roger trying to get a handle on this. Better not get yourself in trouble. Take some treasure and split. So Roger is staying behind to fight. And of course we know the official narrative is that Roger and Garp team up to beat Rox. But it seems like that is going to be a little more complicated. It's so fascinating. And here he's talking about Emu monsterfying his crew, I think. Because we saw that Emu was turning some random pirates into devils and stuff. What is that monster? Saint Saturn just started transforming before our eyes. 5 elders. Looks about right for the type of freak who'd sit atop those magnets. They'd hit him with the pig Latin Ixnay on the Andersley. I wonder if that was in Japanese. Japanese doesn't have pig Latin. But that's our Garp. That's our goat. I saw such a funny video of John Cena doing his apology in Chinese, but with effects that make him look like Garp. And the subtitles being Garp apologizing to the 5 elders for teaming up with Roger. Okay. And then Rox makes his stand against Emu. King of the Bildrats, you're here to kill me, aren't ya? And Emu identifies him as Davy Jones. You've got the wrong guy. I've never even heard of him. However, promises are meant to be kept. This is the titular promise. So that's a big promise. He's not just saying that, like, rhetorically. He's not just saying that, like, yeah, I maybe made some threats towards you when I saw you in Marijois or something. I think he's referring to something, like, very specific and very, like, deep lore that, like, the Davy Jones clan has sworn to revenge, promised that they will eradicate Emu or something like that. Which is exactly why thy kind must be erased from history. Yeah, it seems like they are internally antagonistic, which again really supports this idea of like a 3-way final battle where Nika and Davy Jones and Emu are all opposed to one another. I think that's what we're building to, and we kind of see this, like, this is in absence of Nika. You know, Roger, he's got the hat, but he's no Joy Boy. He's Luffy, that's who we need. My world is still incomplete. Now, that's an interesting line. Now, to me, my own pet theory, that means I haven't finished flooding the entire world. I haven't flooded the world until just the red line remains. That is my guess, because I'm all about this idea of, like, everything ultimately is about the height of the oceans. One Piece is a big drain that lets you drain out the oceans. I'm still cooking in that dimensions. That's what I think that's in reference to. But it could also be like, oh, I haven't eradicated Nika and Davy Jones. I haven't assumed true control. I haven't gotten all the nations of the world to submit to the world government. Could be any number of those things too. He dares attack Saint Saturn. Should we offer help, Rear Admiral? Oh man, Rear Admiral. Not even Vice Admiral. Of course we're helping out. Move it. Wait a second. Helping out which side? Oh. Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm starting to think that the official story of Rox plus Roger versus... Roger and Garp versus Rox was really like everyone versus Saint Saturn. Something like that. Okay, the pirates continue to loot. Captain John, I think it's very funny. This is the kind of, like, almost like Flandersization people complain about this with like the Star Wars prequels and stuff, where it's like Captain John, when he was first introduced, is just a dude who had a treasure map. And Buggy wanted to go find his treasure. Okay? That was like it. It was kind of like a throwaway line. And then Oda just found that that was an opportunity. Let's just keep expanding the idea of Captain John. But it's like, the only thing we really had is that he had a big treasure. And so now he's like this guy who loves treasure. Oh, and a zombie showed up at Thriller Bark and he was a drunk. So he drinks. And here we have, like, he's drunk and he only cares about the treasure. And he's abandoning the Rocks Pirates. This is his moment of breaking out of the crew. Because he's got his treasure. They call him Captain John because he's now the captain of his own crew. I like that. I actually really like that. With Star Wars, it felt kind of different because they take a throwaway line from the trilogy and then be like, I don't know. It'd be like, we got this from the whatever planet. We got this, I don't know, why am I using Star Wars as an example? I barely know Star Wars. But they'd be like, yeah, we got this crystal from, like, the whatever planet. And then they're like, we're going to go to, like, the whatever planet. And it's, like, entirely made out of crystals. Because that's, like, the one thing you know. So that gets exaggerated. It's kind of like that, but because it's One Piece, I like it. I don't know. It's not really the same. We don't have to litigate this. Whatever. Okay, Dragon running off with baby Shanks. Be able to protect the child. He gets yoinked. Pulled into the sky. Oh! Big Eater. Come to me, my treasures. Oh, Captain John had the magnet fruit before Captain Kidd. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Now, why is Dragon getting pulled away? I don't get that. I guess everybody's, like, holding metal and stuff. The gun on his back is getting yoinkied. Yeah, it's the gun on his back. Okay. Yeah, because other people are getting yoinkied because of the gun they've got strapped to their back. I love that. I love that he's pulling all this treasure. And then he's also pulling, like, random-ass junk, like a pipe. A cooking pot. It's very fun. Great shot here. I love the recurrence of devil fruits that Captain Kidd had this fruit later. It was very fun. And then who is this here? Wang Shi uses a powerful flick of his booger. That's what Mr. 3 had. The boom boom fruit. So we know that Ganzui is gone too. Do you really think he's going to split that treasure with us? Each of those chests is worth at least 1 billion berries. Oh my gosh. Anyone would want to keep it all to themselves. He lines up Shiki in his sights as well. I like this, the chaos happening here. Because it's like, by all logic, by all rationality, everybody should just be trying to get the fuck off the island now. Grab as much treasure as you can and get out. But everybody kind of also has a reason to stay. Like, Rox has this duty, this promise, and then Roger and Garp are kind of like, this seems really bad, and let's not just leave it. And then all these other random pirates, the Rocks Pirates, and then on the other crews and stuff, are stuck because they keep just getting pulled back into the fray, you know? So it's a good kind of explanation for why the chaos is just growing and growing. It's the firm supreme authority of the world government up there. That vermin! I love the huge progression of people trying to stop stop Garp. Kaido fighting. Oh shit. Everybody using an insane attack all at once. Now, I've kind of complained about One Piece in recent years. I can't really remember exactly when this kind of symptom started. Maybe it's just post-time skip in general. It feels like Oda loves a little too much these instances where everybody just does their big attack at once. It feels, I don't know, maybe just a little repetitive. A little less nuanced than, like, more choreographed fight scenes. But here, I'm very excited. I preemptively went to split because I knew this would be a 2-page spread. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Big Mom using Ikoku Sovereignty, which is the same attack as the other giants use. Or maybe they use a different sovereignty, but just that style of attack she's using with her big sword. Everybody's shouting the name of their attacks at once. It's quite ridiculous, but I'm all for it. Roger has an attack called Divine Departure, which I want to say is an attack that Shanks uses as well. I'd have to double check. Yeah, this is like so superlative. I love it. Kaido is just shouting dragon because he hasn't really come up with names and stuff for his attacks yet, one assumes. It's just dragon. But yeah, this is sick nasty. I like Rox's attack being called Pandemonium too. Whitebeard's attack is called Shock Hakua. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Sick nasty. Garp's Galaxy Impact. We've seen him use a few times now. All of them just raining down upon Saint Saturn. An extreme amount of punishment. And then here, this is like kind of a poetic shot, man. This like, if this is basically like the most intense in terms of like the damage being dealt that you can depict in One Piece in a single frame, then we cut from that to this like extremely minimal portrayal with like no sound effects, no speech bubbles of Emu getting like warped and torn apart and then morphing back together. Wow, wow, wow. Just the shot of their eyes. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is all insane. I need at least to save the baby. Baby, he's holding a piece of wood. So this is how Shanks ends up in the treasure chest. We knew from like extra lore in the movie or something. I don't remember. We knew that Shanks was found in a treasure chest by the Roger Pirates. Sure. It's a bit out of our... I like Big Mom and Kaido are still just fighting about the devil, or the dragon devil fruit. Can see them running through the distant forest. My blow did the trick. No, it was mine. So yeah, it looks like Emu took a lot of damage. Is definitely needing to decrease attack to regenerate. I'm talking about New Davies, a woman and child striving so very hard to live, a pestilence that must not be unleashed upon the world. So Emu focusing entirely on trying to take out Blackbeard and his mom. Rocks jumping in, another badass attack. Moo. Oh, frick. Ooh, that's scary, man. So this is why. This is why Roger and Garp. Oh, this is going to be brutal. This is why Roger and Garp have to team up to stop Rocks. It's to save his own family. That in a crazy twist of fate turns out to be Blackbeard, who, of course, does all sorts of stuff later. But I will do nothing. Thou will end thy own bloodline. Oh, man. Okay. I'm very excited to see, like, the demonic Rocks. I think that's going to be 10 out of 10 insane character design. But that's brutal. That's tragic. We'll see. And we'll see soon, because I took so long to get to this. So, new chapter in only, like, 3 days. Hell yeah. I'll see you then. We'll be World Series champs then. Go Jays. Crazy chapter. Crazy. Just like again, it's like I'm not like a power scaler. I don't really see much interest in doing that for One Piece in particular. It just seems like a reductive way of looking at it. But it is exciting to kind of recognize like this is like the most power we've ever seen unleashed in a single panel. Definitely, right? What could come close? Just awesome stuff. Okay, that's all for now. See you in a few days.